Whoop whoop! Let's share a nice, interesting dating time lapse because people always wonder why I don't go on dates. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome yourselves to the dating experience of the infamous story of Kisnopans. Alright, a lot of the times people are trying to figure out what I'm looking for or why I won't go on dates, and there's just a lot that happens, and quite frankly, I hate to say it, but I do find dating to be more of a headache than anything. I feel like if I'm really probably supposed to date you, it'll just be a moment, and I don't mean like the magical moments in the movies where you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him, oh my god, at last. Like, that's not what happens. Because I kind of feel like, you know, when it comes to like love or dating or liking, you just have to be compatible as a person. Like, in general, as your friend, I want to make sure we're compatible, because if I feel like you're gonna nag me or annoy me too much, I'm be like, yeah, that's cool. Oh, what? Oh yeah, no, did I say I was coming? Double booked. So, the truth is, you know, I'm not really much one into dating. I kind of feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not like I'm going to look for it, because I feel like that's trouble. So, let's start with the story of Kisnopans. So, here's how this happened. This all started with the written writ. Yeah, that's right, Ralphie. You're getting the blame for this one. Me and him were on the train one day, and this dude kind of looked like a lumberjack. I thought he was cute. Like, the second time I met him, because I didn't notice him on the first day. Here's the problem. I was knocked out cold. Like, you know, I was knocked out. So Ralph is with me on the train, right? Because at the time, I was actually staying in his house to help him and his wife take care of their little munchkin. Because, you know, new kids, you know, it's stressful. It's a lot of work. So I was like, I don't really do much. I'm an actor. Come on, some of you got that, and you guys were like, that's offensive to actors, and it only halfway is. But the thing is that I was on my way to his house, and we're on the train, and he notices me, so he's apparently staring at me this whole time, which I don't know how this is sexy. That's not sexy. Like, I don't know what he was looking at, but apparently that was attractive looking. So he walks over. When I finally start waking up, he starts trying to like start a conversation. And I remember thinking to myself, why is he speaking to me? Like, I felt bad because I wasn't trying to be rude, but I had just woken up. Kinda wakey. And he's like determined, and this whole time he's just kind of like okay, that's what it sounded like in my head, because I really wasn't listening to him. I won't lie, I have this incredible skill of being able to nod and smile at people. I think it's the model in me that can do this. And I am not listening to a single word you were saying. But yeah, so he was rambling on, and then finally at some point he's like, hey, you should check out this event. And I was like, you want to exchange numbers? And I was like, I guess. Like, I wasn't very optimistic or enthusiastic about it. Fearless perhaps, but not that excited about it. So I was kind of like, you never know. I gave him my number. Ralph was making fun of me, right? Because he was like, this could be a good dating experience. You can, come on, you can try. Like, he tries to be my right-hand wingman. And it's always weird because I'm always like, you know, I'm incredibly picky. So, and like, if I get bored within 3 seconds, it's not gonna happen. So, and it's not intentional. It's not that the person's boring. It's just how my mind works. So you have to keep me entertained. And I don't mean do 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 do. like that's not gonna keep me entertained more than 3 minutes. I'm just gonna sort of like ignore you, and I can't help it. I just have a very short attention span, and it's because I am a very creative person, and creative people are always creating stuff and stuff. So a couple of weeks go by, and he actually calls me up, and I'm trying to figure out who the f is this. I'm like, yo, Ralph, who's this dude? And he's like, that's the dude from the train. And I was like, what dude from the train? He's like, the dude that was talking to you. And I'm looking at him, and Ralph broke down the entire conversation that me and him had that apparently I wasn't present for. Who knew? So I'm looking at him, and he just looks at me and goes, do you ever listen to men when they're speaking to you? And I kind of just smiled at him and was like, yeah. So he starts explaining, trying to remind me. Finally I remember. And so this homeboy is now on my Facebook, right? And he has this weird Facebook profile picture that Ralph has not let down, because this is basically what it looked like. This is a wabbit. What's up, Doc? So he's like this with his wabbit, and he's just sort of like, I mean, how douchey can you look? I'm just saying, like, it looked a little weird, and I was kind of like, okay, maybe he's environmental friendly, which would be great, because I think that's cool. I'm into that, so if you're into that, we can be into the same things. However, here's how the dating process went. So, the first date, again, I'm over at Ralphie's place, and you know, him and his wife, I'm like going to his wife, like, how do I look? Because I don't know how to date. Is this sexy? So this is not, it's too tomboyish? And she was trying her best, like, not to laugh at me, because she knows how much of a tomboy I really am. So she's like, maybe you could try a skirt. Just throwing some ideas out there. You know? And I'm standing there like, what? Sweatpants and sneakers are not date material? What is this? What kind of world we live in? Rather interesting for me finally to get ready. It took me forever to do my hair because I didn't want to do it. Before I leave, homeboy comes over, and he knocks on the window. He's like, hey! He's all excited, and Ralph goes to greet him, right? Because I'm about to leave, right? And I'm like, I'm coming from the bathroom. Yo, Sue, do I look girly enough? Like, this is somewhat girly. This is what you're supposed to wear? This is stupid. I ain't wearing crap like this on a date again. So I'm on my way, and Ralph proceeds to very jokingly make the joke that, like, I'm his daughter because he has a daughter now. You guys might have seen her every now and then pop up on his videos. And he goes, all right, young lady, remember to be back at your proper curfew. You bring her home at a decent time. Oh, yeah, this is where it gets interesting, because I kind of just turned to Ralph like, ha ha, real funny, Dad. You know, like that was our thing, because I always call him Grandpa. And so we're walking, and he seemed fine. Homeboy seemed fine. We get into his car, and he was like, what time do I have to have you home? We go, what? Ralph, he was saying I have to have you, I mean, like, I want to work with your schedule. I mean, so what time do you have to be home? Ralph ain't my daddy. And besides, he was joking with you know, like, cause he's my friend, but he's a little older than me. I mean, if he had me, as if he was my father, he'd be one of those young dads. But I mean, I guess, it happened. So I mean, but he was joshing you. He was just busting your balls as well as mine at the same time. He's being funny. No, he was serious. I need to have what is 10 o'clock okay? Is 10 o'clock fine? Oh, this wigger is serious. What? Yeah. 10 o'clock is fine. Just give me a minute. Where are we going? I figured I would take you to the movies. If you don't mind, like, is the movies okay? Oh yeah, the movies is fine. Hold on, I just gotta do a text message. Ralph, what did you do? What do you mean you didn't do anything? He's terrified. You threatened him in his own head. He thinks he has to bring me home by a decent time. Ralph, this ain't funny. Stop laughing at me. This is not... hate your emojis. So which movie theater? Y'all think I'm playing, but I'm not. I'm serious. That's exactly what happened in the car, because I was trying to explain to him. He's joshing. He's busting your balls. He's just playing around, you know. And he took him dead serious. Like, dead serious. Like, you better have a home. And I was just like, really? Really, bruh? Because, I mean, Ralph was great and all, but here's the thing. Ralph looks like a giant teddy bear. And I don't mean like Ted. He looks like a giant teddy bear. He looks like the Paddington bear if you put like the hat and the coat on him. That's what Ralph looks like naturally. He has a permanent smile on his face. So it's not like he looked like Ted, like, you know, a sarcastic kind of bear. So it was just weird for him to feel threatened by the Paddington bear. So it was kind of like, what do you mean? If you found him threatening, I can't bring you to the rest of my family, like, at all. Like, you've messed up. Strike one. Like, I could never bring you home. My mother would scare you to death. You would just croak and fall over. She would probably just say good morning, and that would be enough for you to be like, ah! And I'm dead serious. We're in the car, and I always feel like I should pay for my own meals. That's just how I personally see it. I'll pay for my meal. You pay for yours, because I'm not covering you, bro. We just met. Okay, we're gonna go to the movies. That's great. That's great. You can just pay for your ticket and I'll just pay for mine. So before we get to the movie theater, we end up having dinner. And he got slick and apparently had given his card out ahead of time when I had stepped out to the restroom. I come back, I have my cash out ready, I'm counting it. Okay. And he's like, he paid already and tip. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, which was fine. I didn't take offense. But I also know that there are males who use this as a gateway. Like, I paid for your dinner and movie. Sex. And I'm like, I'm sorry, my vagina is more costly. Like, if I was going to be a hooker, I was going to be an expensive hooker. Thank you very much. But, you know, I was like, all right. I mean, he paid for dinner. I mean, this is what I do with my friends in general. So, since you want to beat me to the punchline, I'll just pay for your movie ticket. So, because we're sitting in his car, I pull out my smartphone. 2 tickets purchased, because I thought this would be like a cute thing. He paid for dinner, I paid for the movies, because I didn't really think I was doing anything wrong. Apparently that was wrong. So we get to the movie theater and he's about to purchase the tickets, and I'm looking at him like, the show's about to start. He's like, yeah, I know, I'm trying to get the tickets, I'm trying to get the tickets, I'm trying to get the tickets. And I'm like, bro, I got the tickets on my phone, let's go. And he's like, and he goes from being sweet and ish friendly to like, you paid for the tickets? And I'm like, bruh, tone that down. Yes, I paid for the tickets. You paid for dinner. I paid for tickets. Let's go. I'm gonna go see the movie. I was trying my very best to ignore him because I was very annoyed that he was upset that I purchased the tickets. It wasn't like, all right, it was just flat out like all written in his face like, you're ruining my plans. And I was just sort of like, you're awakening the mischievousness within me. I wouldn't do that if I were you. You couldn't handle me. So, movie ends, whatever, we go back home, and he drops me off at a decent time. And Ralph's like, how'd it go? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not really into him. I don't know what to do with this dating thing. It just seems weird to me. It's very weird for me. So, what ends up happening, the guy asked me on a second date. So I thought, you know what, maybe we just stepped on the wrong foot. I'll be optimistic. I'll be fearless. Since, you know, that's pretty much how my friends label me. And the second date is okay-ish because I'm a meat eater. He's a vegetarian. And I mean, like, no, I'm sorry, wait, no, he wasn't. He's vegan. Which is great and dandy. That's great for your life. However, it's a little awkward if I go to a place to eat and there's nothing but, you know, I'm eating a steak and I'm all like, you know, like I'm eating at the table like beast and you're sitting there like Belle with a salad. This ain't gonna look too good. So this is awkward. So we go to a vegan restaurant, which is fine because I was like, we can go to vegan restaurants. And he was so adamant about being pleasing and him being pleased at the same time. It was very weird. And he was like, no, we will go to a place that you eat at because I am the vegan. And I remember thinking to myself, because this is what women do. We plan things 10 years in the making. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dinners are gonna be awkward in the future. I can't cook for you, bro. I can't pack your lunches. Stoic. I think that's enough X's for today's date. So, by the third date, you know, he used to wear these little bow ties. I was like, oh, that's cute. Yeah, whatever. So, by the third date, now it's just really weird because now we're at a diner, and I have a very firm belief in this because I used to work in the food industry, okay? I also used to work at a Chinese restaurant. So I'm very particular about being rude to your servers. So I get my food, he ordered a salad, and the way he ordered it was, I would like a garden salad, okay? I would like it to be fresh. Not that frozen lettuce thing that you do. I don't want any of that. I want it to be fresh. Okay, sir, no problem. And I'm looking at him like, it's a garden salad. I mean, even rabbits aren't that picky, but sure, whatever. And for the record, when you work in food service, you have to freeze certain things because it makes it last longer. And you know, I mean, for some things, yeah, it does change the taste a bit. But then, I mean, if you really want a salad that fresh, you should probably just make it and just carry it with you for the day. But, you know. Just my idea. So the waiter comes back with the food. He takes one bite into it, right? And he's like, this is frozen. I do not want this. And he literally throws a fit. And he makes the waiter go back and remake everything all over again. And meantime, my food's coming out there. It's coming out. And I'm looking over at the waiter like, please God, don't do anything to my food. Him. No, just F him. I don't care. Just don't touch my food. I love you. Yo, I used to be one of you. Come on, man. Can't you recognize the sympathy look? Don't do anything to my food. Just his, just his, just his, just his. Yeah, that may sound wrong, but when you sit in a restaurant and someone else is being a douchebag and you haven't received your food yet, you're a little bit more concerned. Like, yo, cut it out. Why you being an ass? Calm down. Calm that down, bruh. Oh, the waiter comes back with his food, smiled at him in a sense that I was like, I wouldn't eat that if I were you. And then when he comes to me, perfectly fine. He's like, here's your food. Like, you know, and it was almost like, don't worry, we didn't touch your food. I saw the look. And I was in the restaurant like, yeah, my food's safe. Like, I was all good. And it was just weird because I'm like, this is the third date and you're already showing signs of a very serious douchebag. Let's go back to my chart. X, 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 X. You've collected more X's than my ex-boyfriend's dad in 3 dates, and I was with one of them for like 4 years. You're impressive. This is gonna be interesting. I can't wait to tell the stories when I'm older. Or on YouTube. So now it's just getting weird. Now I'm just like, I think I'm just gonna cut this brush short. He's being a little crazy, and while we're in the car, he's talking about taking me out to Mardi Gras. He's like, it'd be great, you know, I can find like really great plane tickets, and he already seems psychotic enough to me. So when he's talking to me in the car about going to Mardi Gras and me having a trip with him and his friends, my first thought is he trying to kill me? I don't know about this. I don't know. Suddenly now I have a knot in my stomach. This don't feel good. I don't know. I mean, I do modeling, but I don't make that much money in modeling to be buying plane tickets. So it'll take me a while to save up that money. God, am I home yet? This is weird, yo. I could duff this dude. So, like, all kinds of things were going in my mind, and I'm like, sit there, look at it. He's just going on. He's like, you know, and then, you know, I'd like you to meet my family. You know, and one of these days, you know, but it's, I mean, that's going to be really tough to do. How do I say this? Everyone else in my family is okay. The issue is that my father, and I'm looking at him like, is he gonna cry? Is this gonna be one of those, oh God, am I gonna have to hug him because he's crying? This is weird because I'm still very unsure about you. And this is the third date by like the third week. Because, you know, I had like 6 days of recovery to just, maybe he was just being dumb that day. He's mentioning his father, and I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, and then finally he says this. My father's racist. He does not like black people. That could be a problem. Now here's the thing. This isn't the first time that I dated a guy where someone didn't like me because they were like, she's great, but she's dark. You know, and usually my response is, they left me in the sun too long. You know, when you get the baby, you gotta put the baby out in the sun. Mommy left me out there too long. But really, I'm as white as I look. Give me a minute. And so I'm looking at him like, okay, and he's telling me about how his family's out in Long Island, and I'm looking at him like, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is interesting. And then he starts telling me more about these other sad stories where every girlfriend he's literally ever had has ever cheated on him. which I was like, okay. And he was like, but they've all cheated on me no matter how well I treated them, and this and that and this and that. And this one is when he starts tapping into his psychoness. So I'm like looking at him like, bro, if I gotta knock you out, I ain't got no problem with it. Like, don't think I can't. And so he's going on and about this, and I'm thinking to myself, why would they cheat on you? Let's go back to the drawing board. Oh, that's a lot of X's. I mean, I kind of have a theory why they might be cheating on you, but I mean, it's still a bad thing to do, especially if that's not something you guys agreed upon. But yeah, that conversation of his ex-girlfriend's cheating on him turned into his recommendation of how great he is at sex. So I'm thinking, oh, you're preparing for the end of the date or the 4th day. Okay. Alright, this is awkward because I've never heard anyone say, I'm really great. Like, I'm really good at sex. I'm pretty, I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty damn good. So then all I can think of is like, where does he get his reviews? Like, is there a Yelp out there that I didn't know about? Like Selp or Sexelp sounds good. Sexelp, let's go with it. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, interesting, awkward. I'm not sleeping with you, but sure, because I think you're a douchebag. I mean, especially after you yelled at the waiter. Yeah, am I home yet? He continues on, and then he proceeds to say these magical words. I have some phone numbers that they would give you like recommendations, and they would tell you. What the F did he just say to me? Recommendations? What is this, a job interview? I gotta pull out your resume and be like, alright, how many girlfriends have you had? Address, phone number, qualifications, seeking to find sex mate or girlfriend, okay. What are your experiences? Ex-girlfriend cheated on me, ex-girlfriend cheated on me, ex-girlfriend cheated on me. So how long was this relationship? Were you terminated from your position? Is that what happened? What was the problems here? And what things were you good at? Okay, bought dinner, douchebag still. Next ex-girlfriend, douchebag, but I still paid for a lot of her things. Okay, I see you have a trend here. You like to buy things and then think buying things means you can be a douchebag. That, I mean, I don't know about you, but that's usually not the normal job requirement. And, oh, I see your recommendations. Special skills, sex, talking about how good you are at sex, and then bragging about your sex. Okay, okay. So if it was so great, then why did they all cheat on you? Yeah, I said it. So now the conversation's just getting weird, and I'm just sitting there like, this has got to be the weirdest bra I've ever met. Like, the weirdest bra. I'm trying to, like, just ignore it, and I'm like, oh, really? Recommendations? Yeah, sure, I'd love to call them. Then he goes to proceed to give me, like, I guess it would be like his sex help review. And he was like, this one time I was with this girl, right? And by the way, talking about your sex life during a date that you had with someone else is probably just not a good idea. I mean, I'm not really interested. If I ask, then sure, share away. You know, like if we're going, hey, what's your craziest sex story? Or what's your craziest kiss story? Those are fun moments. When I ask, don't use it as a recommendation, especially the story. So I'm so dedicated to making sure that the woman is pleasured that apparently she had diarrhea. We go, what? Even though she had diarrhea, I mean, like she had let herself go, but you know, I kept going because I wanted to make sure that, you know, that she was satisfied. You are disgusting. That is not a recommendation. That is not a recommendation. If I have diarrhea, you need to let me get the F out of the bed and go to the bathroom. I am not that dedicated to pleasure that I feel like I need to sit in my own feces while you continue to F me. I swear that's exactly what was happening in my head because he was so confident that this was a good story to tell, and I was like, yo, I can't wait to tell Raph about this. And I couldn't like pull out my phone and be like, Raph, guess what I just heard? Because I was like, I can't retell this story over the text. This has to be enacted in person, okay? Like those documentaries. This is what this is. So, he drops me off, and we come in, and basically he's trying to make out with me on the couch because now I'm just sitting here like trying to like figure out what happened because one of our that date I believe we went to go see the Empire State Building, and I hadn't been there since I was like a little girl, but we got to see the view at night. So I'm staring at him like, I need him to like tell this story to Ralph. Like I need witnesses, because I feel like did I hear what I heard? Because now it's just become entertaining for me. And so now at this point, I turn my head for a second, his pants, everything, gone. So I turn back, I'm like, ah! Where are your pants? What is that? And the thing about it is that there was something very wrong, and I'm not trying to like say, oh, he's small, like that's not where the joke is really intentionally going, but I didn't know what I was looking at, and I was confused, and I thought there was something wrong with the fact that I was confused. It was like, okay, no boxers, no pants, all I see is thighs. And I'm thinking I'm going back to health class, sex ed class. I'm going back to all the human anatomy classes. I'm just thinking away, and I'm like, something's missing. And maybe it's just in your head. Maybe is your vision messing with you? And he scared the crap out of me when he did this, because then I realized where it was. And I was sort of like, oh crap, they come that small? Like, I had never seen anything that small before, and it freaked me out, because I was like, oh, I just thought that was something mean women said. Like, I had never felt so naive and dumb in my entire life, all within 2 seconds, because I was just like, I thought that was, I mean, in the books that I read, they said average was like 4 or 5. What is that? Is that 4 or 5 centimeters? What is that? I was terrified, because I was just sitting there like, oh my god, keep that thing away from me, what is that? Okay, so maybe I'm being a little bit of a drama queen, but no, it really was, and I was just confused, because it was like, I didn't even know they come that small. Like, for me, then it just became more of a science project for me, because then I'm like, wow, okay, so you're that 1%, that's why your ex-girlfriends always cheat on you, that's exactly why, and because you're a douchebag, and that's probably why you're a douchebag. I just solved your life's problems. This is where your source of your problems are coming from. Everything comes from here. Got it. Also might explain why you act like such a bitch. And I'm not trying to like make fun of dudes who do happen to actually be small. You know, if you're a nice, great guy, you're fine. Him, on the other hand, I don't know. So after that, I was like, alrighty, time for you to go. So he leaves. And at this point, now I just can't stop thinking about it, because now I'm just sort of like, you ever see something that you can't unsee and it just fucks with your head? Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that moment? That's what that moment was for me afterwards, because all I could do is just, Ralph, I got a couple of questions. Let's talk. So I see Ralph, right? And I'm like, alright, this is gonna sound weird and I'm gonna sound real dumb, but is it, I mean, like, how common or uncommon is it for like the member to be small? And he's looking at me like, what kind of stupid question is that? And I'm like, bro, I'm being serious. I need to know, because this, I feel like I don't even know what I just saw. I don't even know if he's even from here. He might be from another planet or something. That's common. I mean, I don't know. Now, I mean, I don't know, because it wasn't just in length, it was also in width. That was the weird part. It wasn't like there was like, it looked like there could ever be girth, and it was limp. That was the other thing that confused the crap out of me, because I was just sort of like, short in length and width and limp. It just did a number in my head. So I went from being fearless to fearful, because I was like, holy crap, what happened? And Ralph is laughing. He has not stopped laughing. And I'm sitting there looking like, dude, no, really, I'm serious, because I didn't even, like, if that's what happens when I go on a date, I'm never going to go on a date again. Ever. Like, you know, I'll just quit. Done. And Ralph was just sitting there like, so what happened? So ever since then, that's how he became known as Kiss No Pants, because it's like, trap, you know, because he started the heck out of me, and I didn't know what I was looking at. Yeah. After the summary of all those dates coming into one, oh yeah, by the way, when I told him I think we should just go separate ways, he was really upset. And then a couple of months later, because he tried to give me my own, I guess, couple nickname, and I don't even remember what it is. I don't remember much of him, I just remember the traumatizing experience. And a couple months later, he sends me a text message calling me by the nickname that he gave me, and it was such a strange nickname that I remember like, what do you want? And then when I text him, okay, what is it that you want? Because I want to know what, dude, why are you texting me? And then he's like, oh, I don't know who you are. I forgot. I don't know who this is. Like, suddenly, I don't know who I text. And I was like, are you really gonna try to like fake text me? So I sent him back a message like, you got no idea who you text, but you use that nickname. He got quiet. Please share your crazy dating stories with me in the comment section below, because there are just some people out there that you're like, that's how they really are. And it's weird because I tried my best to be as optimistic as possible because I just couldn't take them seriously. But then by that last one, I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, I mean, I got a couple of psychiatrists' phone numbers if you're looking for some. I mean, I can, bro, they need to help you. And he's the prime reason why I don't want to go on dates, because I think most people are freaking crazy. And I don't want to find out 10 years down the line you crazy. I'd much rather find out with him, like I did with him, within like the first couple of days, like, okay, I think you're really nutty. Like at this point now, I'm not just being optimistic, I'm just being stupid by being here. Like, but yeah, share your dating stories with me. Give me some thumbs up. Tell me what you think about the story and his sex help recommendations. And yeah, while you're commenting on everything and giving me some thumbs, click that button down there to become an Apple buy. Whoop, whoop. There are just some images that'll never leave the human mind.